Ichiban Kasuga, the rock-bottom dragon, versus Josuke Higashikata, the shining diamond of Morio. Throughout fiction, there are countless larger-than-life heroes who stand against world-ending phenomena, constantly dealing with beings that threaten the very fabric of reality. But what about the smaller problems? What about the inherent issues baked into the small-town setting that are hidden in plain sight? Who will be there to deal with those? Welcome to the second season of Danny Boy's Fight Club, the series where yours truly pits two fictional characters against each other in a hypothetical battle to the death. Today I will have a mental breakdown trying to figure out the scaling. Some people start off life on easy mode, with everything handed to them on a silver platter, while others are not so lucky. Such would be the case for a lonely child named Ichiban Kasuga. Young Ichiban was hidden by his parents as they were being pursued by Hikawa Industries. As such, young Ichiban never really got to know his family, and spent his youth as a lonely shut-in. Forced to fend for himself, Ichiban would try to earn any amount of money possible, which he did, by beating the snot out of people. However, one day he would unknowingly severely injure a Yakuza member, leading to the rest of the group jumping him, bringing him to the brink of death. In a last-ditch attempt to try to get out of this mess, Ichiban would blurt out the name of Masumi Arakawa, a feared Yakuza member in the area, despite not knowing this man at all. The Yakuza would call Arakawa to find out if Ichiban was bluffing or not. And to their surprise, the man said that he knew him. Arakawa would give up his pinky finger to save this young man that he had never met, and this inspired young Ichiban, so much so that he would wait outside the Arakawa household for days, desperately wanting to join forces with the man who saved his life. And eventually, he was let in. Ichiban was more than ready to begin his new life as part of the Arakawa family, to which he would swear complete and total loyalty to. He would even turn himself into the authorities for a crime he did not commit just to protect Arakawa. He would then spend a good 4 console generations in prison. And when he got out, he was promptly betrayed by the man who saved his life. There has gotta be better ways to spend your entire youth. From this point forward, Ichiban would devote his life to something else. Inspired by his favorite game and the old-school Yakuza ideals, Ichiban wanted to become a true hero. Thankfully, he had all the tools to do this, starting with his signature weapon, the Bat, a heavy-hitting melee weapon that Ichiban wields like a sword. Ichiban is well-versed in quite a few different things, actually. Fist fighting, sword fighting, cooking, playing the guitar, breakdancing, and even fortune-telling. A skill that lets him call bad luck on people, leading them to get hit by lightning or even small falling meteors. Remember when I said Ichiban really likes Dragon Quest? Well, he loves it so much that whenever he battles with people, he literally perceives everything around him as if he's actually in a JRPG, leading to some wacky shenanigans to ensue. Even without all these tools, Ichiban is still very gifted physically. He's comparable to Kiryu, who can easily dodge bullets and even laser beams. He can also tank a giant explosion visible from the top of a tower. He can even empower himself with heat modes, further increasing his already impressive strength and speed. But perhaps Ichiban's deadliest item is none other than his phone, an item that lets him summon pound mates or allies to help him in battle. Most of these are just random dudes who inflict status effects like fear, increased damage, or poison. And then there's a crayfish, a cat that turns into a tiger, a rooster that shoots eggs like bullets, and an orbital laser that can shoot a town-sized blast. Wasn't this game supposed to be about the values of honor and dignity within the Japanese Yakuza? With the help of his friends, Ichiban would manage to dissolve the Tojo clan, going on to help ex-Yakuza members find legitimate jobs in the sequel games. Ichiban is just the kind of guy you want to have around. Goofy but honorable and more than willing to make sacrifices for the sake of others. That's ultimately what he loved most about the Yakuza. Setting aside the criminal activity, where are those good old-fashioned values on which we used to rely? The honor and dignity that defined the Yakuza is what Ichiban truly strived to live his life for, like a dragon. Morio, a completely ordinary small rural Japanese town where each day children went to school, adults went to their jobs, and something lurked among the population. Something sinister. For years, countless people mysteriously vanished, all thanks to someone or something claiming their lives. This would cause a familiar marine biologist, Jotaro Kujo, to come to Morio to investigate, as well as to meet one of his relatives, a high schooler by the name of Josuke Higashikata. At first glance, Josuke seems like any 17-year-old guy. Goofy, slightly timid, and with an unconventional personality. However, there was something more. You see, for as long as Josuke could remember, he possessed a bizarre superpower known as a stand. In case you didn't watch the last episode, link in the description, a stand is an epic punchy ghost formed out of one's fighting spirit, and can only be interacted with by other stands. Stands come in all shapes and sizes and have tons of unique and insane abilities, like trapping you in a transmission tower and turning you into metal when you try to escape, or attaching itself to your back and killing you instantly the second someone sees it, or just straight up deleting you from existence. Stands can be obtained in many ways, but Josuke would inherit his stand from being part of the Joestar bloodline. And of course, he got one of the coolest stands of all, Crazy Diamond, which has the ability to restore any damaged object to its previous state. This ability is incredibly useful, as it can be used on just about anything. Imagine you dropped your phone from the top of the stairs and broke it. With Crazy Diamond, you don't need to worry about spending even a penny on repairing it. Since this ability restores objects to their original states, it can even work on chemical changes as well, allowing Josuke to uncook food. I wonder what he would find if he uncooked a McDonald's cheeseburger. This ability has some limits, however. Rule number 1, it cannot revive people from the dead. And rule number 2, it cannot be used on Josuke himself. And while an ability like this might not sound the most combat applicable, as it turns out, this is far from the truth. See, Josuke is what you would call a super genius when it comes to utilizing his ability, making it far more versatile than you might think. He's destroyed objects before repairing them around his enemy to trap them inside, or destroying the motorbike he was driving at full speed towards a mother and her baby, sending the pieces flying over them, and then repairing it right as he was about to hit the ground. He even turned the user of the stand Enigma into a book by beating the crap out of him before repairing the paper around him and transmutating him into paper. Because that's apparently a thing he can do. He even did the same thing to the infamous serial killer Angelo, creating the famous Angelo Rock, which is a popular tourist attraction. Crazy Diamond is also incredibly strong and fast, able to keep up with Star Platinum, a stand that can punch at massively faster than light speeds, which is more than fast enough to catch bullets being fired at you from point-blank range. He's also about as strong as Stone Free, the stand of Jolene Kojo, which, as we mentioned in the last episode, could deflect meteors from space by punching them, outputting a force of 22 kilotons of TNT. Josuke may be limited to close range, but he has a few ways to work around this. His stand can fire small projectiles like bullets, and is even precise enough to snipe a rat from several meters away. With power, speed, and versatility like this, you never want to make this guy mad, which is why you never make fun of his hair. Oh yeah, for some reason Josuke gets really angry when someone makes fun of his hairstyle. But why? This is JoJo's, everyone has a funky hairstyle. There has to be a deeper reason for this. Well, actually, there is. It was a dark and snowy night. Morio was experiencing a huge downpour of snow, and 4-year-old Josuke came down with a terrible fever. His mother desperately rushed to get him to the nearest hospital, which was quite a drive away, as Morio was rather undeveloped at the time. On their way to the nearest town, their car got stuck in the snow. All hope seemed lost until a young man approached the car from behind. This mysterious high school boy removed his coat and placed it underneath the wheel of the car, before telling Josuke's mom to drive forward, and never to stop, for they would risk getting stuck again. Overwhelmed with gratitude, both Josuke and his mother would try to find this young man after returning to Morio to thank him, but they never saw him again. Despite the fact Josuke never knew this guy personally, he served as a role model, a frame of reference for how Josuke wanted to live, going out of his way to help other people in need. He would take on this mysterious young man's hairstyle, and anyone who insults his haircut is insulting the man who saved Josuke's life. the man who inspired Josuke to be a good person. And it's also why Josuke gets so mad to the point where he literally goes into a blind rage, making him physically unable to see what is right in front of him. Following in this man's footsteps, Josuke would work together with his friends to track down and defeat the mysterious killer lurking in his town, the killer responsible for a countless loss of lives. So you better not mess with the well-being of Morio, for if you do, you are sure to experience an extended hospital stay, because Josuke's desire to fix his town's problems is unbreakable.
そう、一旦おめえを直せばよ。これで全然卑怯じゃねえわけだな。はっ。
Alright, it's the moment you've been waiting for. Let's settle this discussion once and for all. It's time for the fight portion of this video!
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's alright. Man, I was told this place would be littered with problems, but it's the most boring town I've ever seen. Weirdest thing I've seen was that guy with a pincushion on his head.
Oi. What was that you just said?
Eh?
Don't play dumb! What did you compare my hair to?
How did you hear me from all the way over there?
Duda! Duda!
He's fighting me with an invisible ghost. Seems to be living in close range, though. As long as I keep my distance, I should be good. Alright, bring it on! Really worked up now.
You are dead!
Uh-oh. I think I made things worse. Thankfully, I have a plan B! What? I didn't do that! Ah!
That dude has to be an enemy stand user. He's not getting close to us. It must be a long-range ability. It's too much. Can't move.
Whatever ability he has, it's able to crush objects from a distance. It has to be tied to how things look smaller from far away. That's why he's keeping his distance.
Why is he attacking us? I've never seen him in my life.
It's possible he's tied to the Yakuza, although I've never encountered anyone with power like this. Ah!
So, it's a stand that lets you crush objects from far away due to perspective making them look tiny, huh? Well, I guess that doesn't have much use now that you're in Crazy Diamond's range. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. What was that you said about my hair? That it looks like a pincushion?
Wait, no! You healed me.
Come on, you thought I'd really beat up an injured guy? That goes against what I stand for. Plus, I owe you back there for saving my life.
So, What now?
Hey, Josuke!
Oh, hey, Koichi. How's it going?
Whoa, you look real messed up. Did you just fight an enemy stand user?
It's all over now. Oh, I didn't get your name.
It's Ichiban. Ichiban Kasuga.
Nice to meet you. Say, let's go get some lunch. There's a really good Italian place nearby. My treat.
Sure, I love Italian.
You're gonna love this place. The food there is so good it literally healed my friend's back pain.
Actually, I wonder if it will do anything about that toothache I had this morning.
Oh, great, another non-death ending. Ugh, the comments aren't gonna be happy. Well, this fight was actually quite close, and it's no surprise with how zany these Yakuza games can get. However, Josuke had the edge in a few key categories. While Ichiban was comparable to characters who can dodge lasers and could use the orbital laser to output a town-level blast, Josuke was comparable to characters who could move several hundred times faster than light and could deflect meteors with a similar damage output to the laser. Ichiban did have much more at his disposal, and with items like the glass ball calling bad luck on people, he did pose a threat to Josuke. However, with the massive attack and reaction speed advantage, Josuke was far more likely to get a hit in first. And while Ichiban's imagination and creativity does let him utilize all these seemingly useless tools effectively, Josuke is much more well versed in dissecting his enemy's ability to find a workaround. Plus, there was just nothing stopping him from transmutating Ichiban into, say, a rock, something he didn't have a way back from. However, realistically, Josuke is never doing any of this against someone like Ichiban, since he only really used that ability against literal serial killers. Yeah, it's one of these matchups. Ichiban fought hard like a dragon, but in the end, Josuke's diamond heart truly was unbreakable. The winner is Josuke Higashikata.
He's not beating what? He's not beating Goku. Nobody beat Goku. Nobody beat Goku.